Blast off!
Blast off! Hello, everyone.
Technical difficulties.
We've had technical difficulties, but you wouldn't know, and that's okay.
Yeah.
This is like take 9.
Been taking a while for us to get on here.
Had the hubby in here fixing it because I think I'll blame him because he revamped my computer.
There you go. It's all his fault.
Oh, yes. He did something nice for you, so you're going to blame him.
Well, at least
You'd think his name was Jen or something.
I was going to say, I'm not blaming Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Didn't she say in the thread?
Yeah, she was free and clear last week.
Well, I guess you were asking for it, Jen.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Two Tangled Skeins.
I'm Sue, also known as Craft.
I stole her line.
Yes, she did. I'm just like, oh. I'm Sue, also known as Crafty Knitter 7. We are February 20th, 2016. This is episode 147. I would like to welcome any new and returning viewers, and it's raining like crazy here today.
So disappointing.
I'm not going to complain. It's +4. Which is like 37 for the Americans.
It
roughly.
means that my Uruguayan guests are not out of the house skiing.
That's okay. You're out of the house.
I am.
Is that how come you got the car?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm Lynne, also known as Tall Baby. You can find our blog at twotangledskeins.com, and you can find us on Twitter and YouTube as Two Tangled Skeins.
And I am Selma, also known as Selma123 on Ravelry. Just so everybody knows, I've been trying to get on Instagram.
Woohoo!
Yeah, well, I have a BlackBerry. It's not working.
And you can find Sue and I on Instagram as Toll Baby and Crafty Knitter 7. We also have a Facebook group and a Ravelry group, so come and join us.
And I wanted to ask a question before we get into things. The blog. I was looking at the stats.
There's been controversy about the blog.
Well, I'm just wondering, do we continue with the blog? Because, what are the stats? And all I do is post the episode in the show notes. There's nothing really else
There's no
going on.
content.
No. And, our viewing is,
quite considerable, actually.
600, I said, on an average a month?
That's pretty...
I know sometimes
my blog doesn't get anywhere near that much.
Sometimes it dips higher and lower. But basically, it's like 1,500 to 1,600 views a month, but most of those are people coming back a second time.
Yeah.
So you have to divide it.
Right, so I guess the question is there interest in the blog? And
would you like to see more content on the blog?
Or is there something you'd like to see on the blog? Is there something that would make you go to the blog?
Because if you're just going for the video and show notes, that's all on Ravelry.
Or on YouTube.
Well, the video is,
Yeah, the show notes.
We don't do the show notes on Ravelry. But,
on YouTube.
we're not averse to adding content to the blog.
We do the show notes on Ravelry,
not on YouTube. I think she meant to say YouTube.
Oh,
no.
I'm sorry. That's what I tried to say. My brain.
Yeah, that's a good question.
The brain to mouth thing didn't work.
The blog has our donate button, and it has other blogs and podcasts that we follow.
By the way, thank you very, very, very much to all the people who have donated.
We really appreciate it. I can ship things again.
Yes. So anyway, if you have ideas for content that we could add to the blog, let us know. And if there's anything you'd like to see or whatever.
Should we run out some of our contests on the blog? We give us ideas.
Should Selma start a column?
Column. I'll just stand straight in the middle of the blog.
No, not be a column.
Sorry. Yeah, well, what would you be interested in hearing or reading about, rather? Yeah, so do let us know. Yeah.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. It was 2 weeks ago that I was here.
Yes, it's a record.
It is a record.
Woohoo!
And she has mighty foes.
Yes.
I do.
She's wearing clothes.
Well,
and listen, I just wanted to say thank you for those of you who shouted out to me. Is that how we say it?
Yes.
Last time?
Yep.
All about the rats. I've had some good laughs. People have, just said, oh, I've had rats too. I find it amazing because before I had rats, I was quite averse to the whole notion.
You should have seen her face when her daughter asked her on the way back from Rhinebeck. She was just like, what? We're not having rats in the house.
and when I do tell people, sometimes they have that reaction, but I'm so surprised by how many people come and say they've taken care of rats, they've had rats, they have rats.
Boss tell you he has rats?
I told my boss that because everybody went away last weekend. I was alone for 4 days in my house.
Wasn't it beautiful?
It was heavenly. It was really, 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 really nice. And so I was just telling him, because he asked me how my 4 days off were, and I said I was hanging out with the cats, the rats, knitting and whatever. And he was like, and I was expecting him to go, rats, because people often do. And he said, oh, my daughter has rats. She loves them. And I was like, people have rats and they've never mentioned anything. And then somebody posted in the thread for that 2 episodes ago, posted a video, a hilarious video. So if you want to go and see it, of a rat and a cat competing for the milk bowl. It was absolutely hilarious. I watched it I don't know how many times, and of course I showed it to my family. And then a woman named Monique told me, you could make this for your little babies. It's a rat sweater.
It's a tube.
I just laughed like crazy when I saw this. It still makes me laugh. So it might actually end up happening, and let's see what happens with Army and Einstein. So anyway, I just wanted to thank everybody for that source of entertainment and for the shout-outs. It was great fun. I could look at this all day long. It's just hilarious. But I won't, because I'm here to talk.
You're here to talk about your foes.
Mistake.
All
Oh,
your
no.
foes.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't have all the foes. I've got 2 foes.
Well, you've got the only foes, so.
Apparently I'm the
You
one
do
with
have
the
all the
foes.
foes.
I wrote in the show notes that you can't see yet, what is Selma wearing this week?
Oh, so should I start with what I'm
Yes.
wearing this week? Okay. Do we happen to know when I made this sweater?
I
No.
thought it was
I'm going to say
2010?
it's at least 4 years ago.
Yeah. It was way down in your projects.
if not 5 years ago. So somewhere in there. This is the number 14 leaf yoke top by Angela Hahn. And it's actually originally a tank top. It's top down, and it's supposed to stop
like
here.
Cap sleeve or something?
No, it stops at the edge of the lace, so the lace forms part of the tank. It's
Okay.
very attractive, actually. I wouldn't mind making it again just as a tank top, but I decided to make it with sleeves.
Because
And-
Canada.
Yeah, and I was using wool. Actually, I made it out of hemp wool, and I'm just about to start something else in this. It's hemp for knitting hemp wool. It's actually from BC, from British Columbia, here in the western part of Canada, although the yarn itself is made in Italy.
Eat your hearts out, Americans.
It's a 65 wool, 35 hemp blend, so it's not the softest thing, and there is sometimes occasionally
not soft.
some organic matter that comes out from the hemp, but I made it out of that 5 years ago about, and
It still looks brand new.
it looks brand new. This is and we'll be answering the question about that somebody posted about yarns, but I can tell you that this is in my top 3 yarns for sweater making. So it was a top down. You started with the lace, and then I added some traditional sort of increases down here to make the arms. And at the time I made bell sleeves. I keep wanting to rip these out and just do something.
I still remember when you came to
a
the
little
office
bit-
and I was like,
not the bell sleeves.
no, because as soon as you put your hand in a sweater, well, you don't need
Yeah.
to wear a sweater, but a jacket, it's like, they're up
Yeah.
to here, right?
So I'm going to be pulling those out. I might even do that tonight because I'm motivated to do it.
Because you're wearing it.
I love this sweater. I wear it all the time. But I'm really tired of the bell sleeves. Don't like them anymore. And that's it. When you've made a sweater, you can modify it later. But I did sort of a picot edging on here, and that is at the bottom as well. And that's what I'm wearing. It's an
Nice.
awesome, awesome sweater in awesome, awesome yarn.
Where did you get the yarn again? Sorry.
That's a very good question. I think I got it at Wabi Sabi, which is a local yarn store.
Okay.
And I'm actually about to start another sweater in it, and I'll talk about that in my whip section, which I also got at Wabi Sabi. They don't have it currently, but it's not an easy yarn to find. And if you're not a sensitive person, because if you're really sensitive, you're not going to enjoy wearing it. It's a little bit scratchy, but I'm not particularly sensitive, so
I
I'm
wouldn't
okay
be able
with it.
to.
Yeah, but it is a solid.
Workhorse yarn.
Yeah, and it was funny because Sue and I had this conversation about the word workhorse, because to me there's something slightly pejorative about that. Like, yeah, it lasts, but it's not necessarily attractive or something, right?
Well, I don't know. I've always seen it as I see Cascade 220 as a workhorse yarn. It's something that you like to knit with, and you know it's going to last. And I don't know. I've never really seen. I would knit negative.
I would knit many sweaters with this again. I would absolutely.
So it's more of a go-to yarn.
Totally go-to. It's just not easy to find, but you can go on their website and probably order directly from them. I don't know. Mm-hmm. The other faux that I have are my Monsieur Erlin socks. They're made for my friend whose last name is Erlin, and who got a teaching job, and these are his sort of celebration socks for the teaching job, made out of Regia, the blue jeans line.
A permanent teaching job.
A permanent teaching job,
that's
too.
Huge when you add the word permanent.
Well, yeah, it's a big deal.
So I'll be sending these to him now because he lives in Montreal. Now that I've had a chance to show them, the Regia yarn is not the softest yarn in the world. That's for sure. I was a little shocked by how rough it is, but it's softened up a little bit now that it's been washed.
Yes.
And
I'm working with it right now, and it's scratchy.
Yeah. And I just did a toe up with a basic gusset heel. I did a 3x1 ribbing up until the top where I did a 1x1 ribbing. And they're just nice basic socks. So that's my second FO. As I
wait, there's more.
And then there's one FO, and this is the pièce de résistance.
Her project page.
Can I touch that?
Stunning.
Yes, you can. This is wool, bamboo, silk. Okay. This is the Wildesmeer, I think I'm pronouncing that well, by Kristen Lara, who is Woolen Vine and has the Yarngasm podcast, and I tested this for her. And this was a truly enjoyable knit.
That
was less than 2 weeks. It took me about a week and 3 days, about a week and a half.
Here, give me one.
And I think the fact that it's got three different sections, I just motored through it.
It looked like pure mush when it wasn't blocked.
Yeah, and it's just turned into really something. Pretty. It's very pretty. I love it.
And I love it in that color too. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it worked out really well. And I didn't do the beading, and I sort of wish I had, because I think the beading would have looked really gorgeous with the pattern. Mm-hmm. But it's absolutely lovely. I'm excited that this pattern will be out there, and I'm very excited to see how other people are going to knit it up and what other yarns people are going to use.
I think that's one I may have to pick up.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It's really pretty.
It's very, very pretty. So I look forward to now taking it to the office and wearing it at work, because that's where all my shawls go.
Her shawls are it's very convenient for her to have
for
them
others
at the office.
Too.
Yeah. Was it Monday I messaged you?
Yes, because I was off on Monday.
And I'm like, is your office open? I am freezing. I need a shawl.
Yep, go in and grab one. So off she went to grab it. So yeah, this was a very enjoyable knit. This is it. The pattern is meant to be with fingering weight yarn. I made this out of sport weight yarn, the Mirasol Nuna. As I said, it's a wool silk bamboo blend, blocked out fantastically, and I made it out of 5 millimeter needles. Which is great. I was a little nervous as I was doing it, wondering once again, is it going to block out okay? But it's amazing what blocking does to shawls. So it's just
stunning,
just beautiful, really,
and
really
you'll be
beautiful.
able to wear that, and you won't be too hot because of it's airy.
Yeah. But I was amazed because I put it on at home, and I was like, wow, I often need shawls. My back is cold.
Well, it's a substantial shawl. That's why.
Yeah.
But silk is also good thermal.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
So
I almost might have to.
It's the best thermal underwear.
I would love to see it in other colors too. Like Kristen made it in a really vibrant green, and
I can see that in a really nice pale pink too.
Oh yes.
I think we might all have to.
So anyway, truly, truly enjoyable knit. I really like the idea of there being different sections. I think I'm going to look for shawl patterns. That I want to do the Summertide, which was a mystery along, because it has 3 different.
It keeps your interest.
It does, and it just makes it go by so fast. Mm-hmm. So, or any time that there's something repeating, also where there are different sections.
Yeah.
Is it written and charted?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
we all know how much Sue loves her charts.
I won't buy a pattern if it's not written.
I have to say, I used the written portion of it.
I'm very minimal into charts right now. I've done a few, like my cabled hat. I used the charts.
I'm a chart person.
I'm okay with charts, but I find that to learn lace, I like to read it and then I just sort of repeat it very easily in my head.
You need to repeat what your son said about your knitting.
When you looked at the pattern, I think I was actually working on that shawl, and what did he say? I don't remember. He said,
"How do you understand that?
How do you even know what that means?" I said, "Well, it's like a language, just like any other language, right?"
You said like you're texting.
Kind of like texting.
Yep.
It's all abbreviations that mean longer things. So.
Lord, I wish my kids would learn how to spell before they learn how to text. Because my daughter will send me texts and I have no idea what she's saying.
I find even it's having an impact on my own spelling. You know?
Yeah, because it's too easy to abbreviate.
Absolutely.
Like I find when I'm writing an email or a message to somebody on Ravelry, I read it over because I go, oh, I put a U instead of Y-O-U. Like it's,
See, I don't do that even when I'm texting. It drives me nuts.
Oh, so I must drive you nuts.
Yep.
But
absolutely bonkers.
You love me.
But I used to be adamant about writing it Y-O-U,
Did
and
you
now
just
I'm
say
finding
it's
myself.
you?
No, I said it's your boobs.
Oh, well, they are nice.
Okay.
Yes, we're
Family show.
That smells really good.
It's this new, what was it, 4 o'clock tea?
Yeah.
Almond biscotti. It's interesting.
Out of all 4, she chose that one. I was like,
there's
or did
more.
I give you all 4?
You gave me flavors of all 4.
Okay, right.
Lynn bought a whole bunch of tea, gave some to Sue, and Sue brought some in for me to try as well. So that's the almond biscotti by 4 o'clock. It's a white tea base, actually, not a black tea base. I don't quite know how I feel about it. I'm curious to try
I
the
thought
other
it
one.
tasted more like gingerbread than almond biscotti, but now I've got a box of their gingerbread, so I'll have to compare.
The Black Forest.
Celestial Seasonings tea used to have a flavor called Almond Sunset, and I think it's still my all-time favorite tea, and then they stopped making it. And so anytime I see almond, I think, oh, maybe it'll be like the Almond Sunset, and it just never is. Ever. Ever. So anyway, those are my foes, and
I am
we can now go on to whips, because I think these ladies are foeless.
Yep.
Whips.
I am entirely without foes.
Do you want him to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I can go first. Doesn't matter to me.
Go ahead.
Alright. Might as well start with what I'm knitting on.
What you knitting on?
I got my blanket, and we tested it, and it's more than wide enough. Now
You're
it will
not
be wide
ready
enough.
for the whips and chains?
No, I'm not.
Because people liked it last week.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not going to sit there playing with my phone while we're recording. Because I thought that was rude. Of me.
No, if you have it ready, it's not.
Yes. I did not prepare it before we recorded, therefore I'm not going to play with it. So,
It's so awesome. I really...
Rob and I tested it this morning, and it is now wide enough for a king-size bed.
Oh, wow.
Woohoo! So I'm done the width. Now I can move up.
Moving on.
You should be ashamed of yourself, and that dated you right there.
You just took my task away from me.
Sorry.
It's my job.
My
So you
husband
guys
is-
have seen the whole bottom row. The only one that you haven't seen at the end of the top row is this square here, and this is Selma's Knit Picks Felici and Tea Party. Jen got most of the turquoise. I
Is
only
it
got a
teacup
little
or
bit.
tea party?
Tea party.
Tea
Okay.
Party. I looked it up.
Alright.
So I've got that one. That's from Selma. And then I moved on to the other end, where I only had 2 squares, and now I'm working on number 6. So this lovely green here is Sweet Georgia in pistachio from our friend Maggie Philippe at Knit Night.
Oh, you knit it up? I need to see. I've got enough for my barn
And
raising.
you're on the third row.
Yep.
Coolamundo. I still love this one.
Which one?
This beige
Oh, yes.
speckled thing.
I still don't know what that is.
Still-
It's a
you
symbol.
don't know what it is.
But I don't know what it is. Somebody gave it to me at some point.
If the person who gave it to her is watching and you know what it is, could you please tell us? I
This
just
stuff
think
here
it's
is here. I have no idea.
It's
an old one.
beautiful.
This orangey, pinky, reddy thing here, well, I don't know, is Hanalei hand-dyed sock yarn in hibiscus ruffle from our friend Kathy. And this one was a lot of fun. I like this one. This one here is it's Fiber Stash Twinkle Toes. The colorway is Country Girl. That's from our friend Mandy. And this one here, Selma just gave me this mini, before we recorded. This is her Regia.
The
Denim-
one that I did with the
The
socks
denim,
in.
whatever. So I cast on and started knitting a square. So that's all I got for that. So that's the, I have based my scrappy blanket on the Knitted Patchwork Recipe by Martine Ellis and the Memory Blanket by Georgie Colum.
She's like, I can't
2.75 millimeter needles, which is US 2.
There,
I was what did you just do?
Uh-oh.
We can't see
Oh,
our
there we
cell
go.
anymore. There we go. You broke it.
Oh, well, it wouldn't be the first time.
So it's 2.75 millimeter needles, which is the US 2. So that's my scrappy blanket. I will show you this first. This is the Cold Hat by Nitty or Nice. I'm trying to be polite. And
Thank you.
censor
Thank
myself
you.
a little bit. I'm sure you can start to see what's going on over here.
It's the moose in action.
It's a fornicating moose hat. Or deer hat. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be deer or moose. It is supposed to be done in intarsia. I'm doing it in stranded colorwork. Because I don't do intarsia.
And your color work is lovely, darling.
Thank you all.
That's great.
Mike is happy because it'll be super warm. These are my floats. This is the inside. Because it'll be, like, because of all the floats, it's going to be doubled in layer. So
And
he's
has
happy.
no hair.
Because he's bald, and it'll be nice and warm. And I showed it to him last night, and he is absolutely thrilled with the way it's turning out. He thinks it's fantastic.
Did he give you his all-time expression?
He did. He was super thrilled with
He's
it.
so cute.
So he's very happy. And that is by Naughty and Nice? Nitty or Nice, I'm sorry. Out of Cascade 220 Superwash Aran, the white, which is colorway 871, white. And Cascade 220 Superwash Worsted, which is the red, in the colorway 1921, which is persimmon.
And we figured out last week it's not persimmon.
Well, no, it's just that I disagree that is the best name for the colorway because persimmons are orange.
Yeah. There's no orange in that. That is like a
Yeah,
red,
it's red.
red.
So it is on size 4.5 millimeter, which is US 7. And that's one of my that's one of the only two projects that's seen any love this week. And that lives in, I can't reach, my Blinger string bag.
Uh-oh. There's a tangling thing happening.
And my mini went off that way.
All right.
Yeah, I think I vacuumed up a couple of your stitch markers this week.
That's possible. There we go. Now it's
She
on
drops them and they go into the couch, and then I don't remember.
Yeah, well, I heard it drop and then roll. I wasn't going to go dig under the couch for it. And I forgot to mention that my scrappy blanket lives in my You So and So bag that I love so much.
For a little while longer because
Yeah,
I'm
it's
pretty
not
sure
going to last
gonna
much
outgrow.
longer because now that I'm starting on the third row, it's not going to fit anymore.
And your awesome granny bag.
Has all the minis in it.
Should I make you a, what is the fabric you wanted? The
It was the
sunflowers?
sunflowers.
Should I make you a bag like this when she shows it?
Well, you said you were going to measure the awesome granny one.
But it's bigger than the awesome granny.
Okay.
When she shows it in stash, you can say yes or nay, yay or nay.
Okay.
She's like, now, grabby hands. Which I did not know what that meant in the text.
Give it to me!
'Cause
It's from Stephen Colbert.
Oh, I showed my circular needle thing, and all she wrote was grabby hands, and I'm like, huh?
It's from Stephen Colbert. Somebody made a meme of him going, "Give it to me," and I don't know which show it's from. I don't watch him. I love him, but I don't watch him because I don't have TV. But yeah, it's the grabby hands is Stephen Colbert. Okay. So I have one more. Woo! Caught it. I did get permission to show this on the podcast.
That's got to be Juliana sock.
Yep.
You think?
And I'm going to stick it on my arm so you can see the pattern. But this is the... I'm on the heel right now. This is the Rectangulaire sock by T-Gale Designs, which is our friend Teresa. She is proper on Ravelry. So this is a test knit I'm doing for her. I've finally gotten past the leg and into the heel. And I was a little confused by the gusset, because she does it a little bit differently than what I'm used to. So I put it down for a couple of days. Now I know where I'm going, so I will get to work on it again after Rob leaves on Monday. So I love the colors. I love the pattern. It's really, really long.
longer
I
than
find
you're used
because
to.
I don't like long socks because I have fat calves. Socks don't tend to fit me if they're longer than a certain length.
Mm-hmm.
We will see if this fits because there is no way I'm giving these up. No way.
You can always fold them down.
I could fold them down, or I could always reknit them with shorter pattern repeats. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I will try them on. If they don't fit me, I am willing to wait until they do. Because I've been going to the gym and my calves have changed quite a bit over the last 3 weeks. So
really?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's interesting.
I actually have muscle definition now.
Yeah, last week she's like, touch this! I was like,
Touch
whoa.
my muscles. Here, feel my muscles. Oh, really? Ooh, see? I do mostly weightlifting when I go to the gym. I do a little bit of cardio, but I do mostly weightlifting. So, anyway, yes. Rectangular socks, they should be out second week of March, I think, is the goal at this point. She might put them out a little bit earlier.
Sorry, what was this colorway?
This is Juliana's Fiber Lucid Dreams self-striping sock in the Tulip Festival colorway.
I have that.
I find it so interesting how people can knit with the same yarn and the texture is different.
Mm-hmm.
The texture of the fabric that you make, even though I use the same yarn to make socks for my husband, is so different. It's really interesting.
It's all the gauge too, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Gauge size
It's
of needles.
squishy.
Mm.
This is on 2.5 millimeter needles, which is a US 1.5.
If you can't tell, we love Juliana's yarn.
No.
Still waiting for the colorway you have that she hasn't named.
Well, she has a very similar one
no,
in hers.
I want the one you
You
have.
want the one I have because the one I have has green and the one that's in her shop is blue.
Blah.
That's why she wants. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm sorry, but I gave those socks away.
Shush.
So, yes, Juliana. Listen to
Are
Sarah.
those the socks that went to Sylvie?
Yeah, they went to Sarah.
Fair. I'm fine with that.
Yes. So this should be out first or second week of March, hopefully. And for campers, Teresa is one of our featured designers for March.
But you can't.
You can't use this pad. Well, it won't be out anyway.
Yeah.
On March 1st, I don't think. Because I was going to use these as my designer project.
It has to be published before March.
Yeah.
Right?
It would have to come out. It would have to be available to all the campers by March 1st. So the cabin leaders took a vote, and I can't use these as my designer points. But that's okay, because I am perfectly willing to knit another one of Teresa's designs. So I'm very much enjoying the test knit, and we're having a lot of fun with it. So, yay!
You could almost do like.
Yes, I'm
Monster.
playing Muppet with my song.
That's exactly what I thought.
It's even got teeth.
Yes, it's got
Going in all kinds of directions, but that's okay.
teeth. Shush. Quiet.
The minions on the side there.
Oh.
making it.
I have pointy teeth, so don't meh.
That's what I said to somebody at work yesterday. I'm like, don't get me mad. I got needles. Pointy.
I have pointy sticks, and I know how to use them. And that is living in my Amanda Panda bag, which is Stitched Together 4G is the Etsy shop. And she is Amanda Little Panda 518 from the Stitching You and More podcast.
Which she just put out a podcast recently. I haven't watched it yet.
Not recently.
Like
It was
2
a week
weeks
ago.
ago.
What?
Sorry, I'm behind.
Well, catch up, woman.
I'm watching like people like Mina and Katie. And
I don't have time.
Well, it is amazing. Like the list of podcasts keeps getting longer and longer.
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah,
it
well,
doesn't.
the list in our group is like, have you seen that?
Oh, it's
thread?
insane. It's
If
crazy
you go
pants.
into what your favorite podcast on the first page, I've listed.
Yeah.
Every time someone talks about a new podcast, it goes in there. So, anyways.
Somebody else can play now. I'm done.
Okay.
Want to go ahead?
Yep. I have some whips. Now you do it.
Well, the phone wasn't ready, so I just did it myself. Damn it. Where's the end I was working on?
So, this is her fault. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, I'll take the blame.
Because I made my cabled hat and I need a cowl to go with it.
Sorry.
I want fingerless mitts too, but that might not work. I might not have enough yarn. And you're not going to see this picture.
No.
The Mistake Rib Cowl by Pearl Soho.
It's a free pattern.
It's a free pattern.
I
And
love the
I'm doing
patterns.
it in
They're
the blue
patterns.
that I did my cabled hat out of. And
Which is such an awesome color.
it
It It came up a little bit bright there, but it's actually got a nice sort of slightly tealy earthiness.
It's like an
to it.
antique country blue.
Whoops.
It's called Malibu.
Yeah, it's coming up there as very royal, but
Yeah, it's a little more muted than that. It's more of a country
it's
blue.
more of a denim-y country blue. But
it's really beautiful color.
so yeah, it's a mistake rib, so it's kind of interesting how it works. Very easy 2-line pattern, very easy. And I'm knitting that on 4.5 millimeters, which is a US 7. These are my Hayahayas. They're very old. Sorry, I don't know who that is. Sorry, that was my phone. Yeah, so I'm liking it, and it's for camp, which is February's around the neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll get that finished. I still have half a ball from my hat, so if I need it, I'll use it, but I was hoping to use that for mitts. And it is in one of my only Mina Makes bag, which I absolutely love.
You do. You use it a lot.
I do. I use it a lot. That was project number 1. Project number 2 is my Fractal Danger by Martina Beam. And I'll get the good picture of it because the other side I've written all over it. So that is it there. And I like it because it's not her typical asymmetrical shawl. I'm knitting it out of fiber optics in one of their gradients.
And you are really into the red now.
Yeah, you can't really see the middle color anymore.
Yeah, it beehived a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of beehived. So, let's see where I'm at. Put that back on the needle. Wow, I'm not in the middle of a row. Look at me. Good podcaster. So
It's accidental, I assure you.
where the stitch marker, the stitch marker is, I've gotten a few rows done, and it goes from the dark brown into a lighter brown into like a reddish brown, and now it's into the red.
Burnt sienna.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm doing short rows, so that's all I can say because it's a paid for pattern. It is on size US 4, 3.5 millimeter.
That's interesting. I find that I was noticing that the hitchhiker is meant to be knit on a rather small needle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Her patterns tend to be knit on small needles.
Mm-hmm.
Usually shawls are often knit on 4 millimeter or a US 6,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't sure, so I just started knitting it because swatching. Who does that? Yeah, and I liked the fabric. And this is in a bag I got from my friend Andrea, who is the cat lady, and she does the Cat Lady podcast.
It's a great bag.
I did some squares on my blanket.
Ooh.
Nowhere near, there's my green for my barn raising. Nowhere near Lynn, because, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
Yeah, so...
you've added a lot onto here.
Mm-hmm.
You've been copying me.
How?
That's the country girl. That's the tea party.
Ooh, that country girl is pretty.
Yeah, it's brown with a bit of blush and some sparkly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So I added this blue one, which is You Who Knits, and it's a rainbow something.
Oh, so you had already done the other ones?
That's the
Yep.
tea party.
So you're claiming I'm copying you?
Yep. I did the other one at the Knitting Guild, so
Fine.
Yep.
I
I'm
blame Jen.
still not liking the way they're coming out, but I know that once I add squares on either side,
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same with my crocheted blanket, which
Yeah.
I haven't done anything with for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But once camp is over,
yeah, this is
I'm very much into
This is the knitted patchwork.
getting my points.
Yeah, knitted patchwork recipe by Martine Ellis, 2.5 millimeters, which is a US 1.5. And this
Yeah,
is,
so I'm using a larger needle. She's using a bigger cast on.
and yeah, I'm using 56. No, 52. And this is my Girl with the Rabbit bag. Last but not least, okay, you're gonna say, geez, you haven't moved very much on those socks, because really I hadn't.
Those
So-
poor socks.
I'm back to the toe. Tiny, tiny, tiny.
Looks like a little
Oh,
bonnet
those
for
poor
one of my
socks.
rats.
This is cast on number 4.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
I don't know what I've been doing. I've just been messing them up. That's all I'm going to say.
Maybe it's time to put the Blarney away for a little while.
And I know. I should probably.
And make them St. Patty's Day socks instead.
This is the kick in the pants, which I haven't even got to the patterning part because
I love that pattern.
Lollipop Yarns. And basically she designed it for herself striping. It's free pattern, and basically you do the stitch pattern when the color changes, right?
Yep.
Okay. Because I haven't really gotten to that part yet.
And it's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. And this is being housed. Oh, and this is on 2.25 millimeters, which is a US 1.5. No.
You said 2.5.
Sorry, 2.25.
Okay.
Which is a 1, and it's in one of my knot bags with the sheets.
I love that bag.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cute.
It was the only fabric of this, and I'm like, mine. Because as the bag
That was
maker,
one of Diane's, wasn't it?
No.
No?
I made this
Okay.
one. It was one of my first
No,
ones.
but I mean it was one of her fabrics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm done.
Your turn.
My turn.
What you swatching?
What am I swatching?
Sorry. I've never actually seen that podcast, but I had to.
Oh, Emily. Yeah.
So, I have this yarn. It's the same as the yarn that I'm wearing, as I mentioned earlier. It is the Hemp Wool by Hemp for Knitting in this heathered brown, let's see, heathered brown color. And it's pretty much showing up the way it is.
Yep.
And so I've been thinking for a long time what to make with this yarn because it's kind of a heathered brown. I hope that looks good on me. But I kind of felt like it needed to be something quite feminine, or it was just going to look really guyish. And I didn't really want it to look guyish. So,
You don't want to look manly?
not really.
particularly.
So I finally decided, I've just been looking and looking and looking and looking. I finally decided to make
Sorry.
this, but modify it quite heavily. So,
It's pretty.
this is the Mary sweater. You may have seen this on Ravelry. It's a chunky sweater. It's sort of an Icelandic style sweater. It's knit from the bottom up, and then it's got a one color color work going on there. It's just the cream, and the original sweater's in a light blue. And I just love the color work on there. I just find it so pretty. But I'm going to be using, it's a worsted weight yarn as opposed to a chunky, so I'm just swatching to see which fabric I like, and then I'm going to have to modify the pattern and choose a different size. But I'm going to be doing it top down, so basically I'm going to be reading the instructions backwards. And I'm not turning it into a sweater, I'm turning it into a vest. I don't know if you remember that I had that colorwork vest a few episodes ago, a purple colorwork vest. So I just love that vest. I wear it all the time. And so I'm going to turn this into a vest, but it's going to be more like a dress tunic-y thing. So the idea is that I'll wear it with black boots, tights, and a blouse underneath. So I'm hoping that look is going to work. That's what I've got in my head. So that's what I'm swatching right now. And I've swatched so far in 4.5 millimeter and 4 millimeter, just trying to figure out which one I like more. But that's kind of what it's looking like
Fabric,
there.
right?
Yeah, which fabric I like more. But that's
Are you
what
going
it's
to
looking
wash it and all that stuff like you're supposed to?
No, no, I'm not going to. I swatch. I am probably not the best swatcher, but generally, of course, I've already made a sweater in this, so I know how it wears, and I know that it's going to shift a tiny bit, not a whole lot. So I'll.
You already know how you want the fabric.
Well, I know
to be.
how the fabric, once it washes, I know how it sits.
Oh, okay.
Right? And it's not going to modify a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know that I'm doing it back and forth. I know that when I knit in the round, my gauge is slightly less, or slightly looser, I should say. So I'll just account for that. I'm not terribly worried. I want to have a tiny bit of ease here because I don't want to wear a tight dress.
rodeo when it comes to sweaters.
No. And I've used this yarn, and it's going to be,
Exactly.
in the round.
You know the characteristics,
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah. So there we go. That's the first thing, and it is in the bag that Sue made for me out of fabric that I found in my mother's basement that I had bought a long time ago. It's in here for now. I love this bag. So that's one work in progress. The next work in progress that I have, there's a hoe involved. Woohoo! Woohoo! I didn't have these the last time I was here.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, I know.
These are socks that I'm making for a friend of mine for her birthday. Really getting into knitting socks for other people. It's nice, as long as you know their foot size. Oh, thank you. I totally forgot about this aspect of the whole thing. In the Bryson. I love these.
I know.
Do you like them?
Yes, very much.
So this is, again, a basic toe up, 64 stitches, basic gusset heel, no ribbing, just at the top here I did the ribbing, but it's an ordinary stockinette stitch leg. And this is in, oh dear, what are we in? This is the Opal Sweet and Spicy line. And it is, I don't know what the colorway is.
But it's super pretty. Well, there's
It's
all just numbers
6455.
anyway.
Could it be 6455?
Could be.
Anyway, I love the colorway.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the way that the green is so beautiful, and the way it goes into the beige, and then that turns into brown. I'm really enjoying these a lot. I'm knitting them on 2.25 millimeter needles, my Chow-Goos in the magic loop or whatever you call that, and I've just started the second one. I'm just in the toe. Now I've got a thing. I always cast on 14 in the magic loop.
Yep.
Increase to 60 or 64.
Yep.
Depending on what it's looking like.
14's my magic number.
Yeah, mine too.
I've tried 12 and it's just like, a little too pointy.
Yeah. So that is that. And then I'm also working on a test knit, so I won't really show it to you because I've gotten far enough in it now that I know the designer didn't want it to be shown, but it's a design by Rachel Pausel, who is Sweet Knits 97? 1997, who's also the dyer of Night Elf Fibers, and she's designing. And so I'll just show you. I'm doing this in yarn that I dyed up myself.
That I chose.
Yeah, I was gonna make it in green, and then Sue said no, that one. And I think I'm really liking it. It's gonna be bright. It's coming out a little bit more bluish on camera than it is in real life.
It's a slightly tonal.
But
It's a lilac-y, pinky purple.
Which you're having trouble with because you keep thinking it's variegated.
I know. I realize I don't knit a lot with highly variegated yarns or even tonal yarns. I tend to do solids, or really just slightly. And so I keep looking at this going, can I handle this? Can I handle this? But I think I can. I think I'm going to handle it.
I think you
and
can
I'm
handle
really
it.
going to enjoy wearing it afterwards as sort of an accent piece, which is exactly what I was
Because it really suits
looking
you,
for.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's when she held up the green and she held that up. I was like,
For once, Sue didn't pick the
So
green.
I'm hoping to finish this
Yes.
the next few days.
Sorry, I realize I'm completely off camera.
Now I
here,
know that Rachel is probably not intending to publish this until April or end of March possibly. So I may not be showing the FO until it's published. And then I'll show it to you all blocked so you can see.
Sorry,
it's a
I got
lovely,
confused
lovely
between all my
design.
needle keepers.
And it is in another bag that Sue made for me out of these little
Nested
babushka dolls.
Yes.
I love this bag. It's very deep, so I really like it.
Look at you having a connection with a bag maker.
Look at me.
These two ask, they receive.
She knows the guy.
Now my last work in progress I started yesterday. It is not knitting related. This is this was on my list of things I wanted to do in 2016. There were 3 things. I wanted to do cross stitch. I wanted to move on a little bit in my crochet because I feel like I do the same thing over and over and over again, and I want to do some brioche.
And I kind of helped her jump off the bridge for one of them.
So Sue helped me to get going with my cross stitch, but I realized I'm not quite ready for the deep waters yet, and I went straight into the deep waters.
Yep.
So
Silly woman.
yeah, I chose this beautiful 28 count linen, super fine. And one thing I realized is, oh, I think I need glasses or a magnifying glass.
I just
to
looked
do
at
this.
her and said, "Go for it," and I was like, "I'm just gonna sit
And
back."
I'm gonna put this on hold, and I think start with something a little bit less challenging with a 14 count. Sue just gave me some Aida cloth, and I think I'm just gonna start with that and not. This is really, really challenging. I just did a little bit there. You can see a green line and a little bit of a light blue line. And this is the image that I photocopied from a book that I got from the library that I absolutely love called A Rainbow of Stitches. Was that what it's called? Rainbow of Stitches?
Yep.
And so it was going to be this sort of stylized flower design with different greens and turquoises and then pinks and so forth for the flowers. But what I'm going to do on the Aida instead is I'm going to start with a fish. I've got this fish pattern, which is also from the same book. It's a lovely book, and they've got so many great things in there. So I'm going to start with the fish on the Aida in different kinds of blues, and I think it'll be much easier for me to get a hang of the whole thing, and then eventually move to that. But my main goal for doing cross stitch is I want to be able to cross stitch people's initials onto linen towels as a gift. That's what
I
I
have a towel I made my mom a couple of years ago.
I've got a bunch of letters, and I want to make the L for my friend, who is also getting those green and brown socks because she's got a big birthday coming up this year, along with me. And we're born like a few days apart from one another. And so I'm going to have the towel ready for her as well as the socks as part of her birthday present. So anyway, so it's kind of a whip that is going to be put on the side, and we'll have a different whip next time. And I'm doing this as part of Craft for 20 as well in the Tiny Paper Boxes group, which is a great motivator for getting onto some new different stuff. All right, I'm done, man. Was that enough whips? Look at me. No mono.
She can talk for a while because I need your brain.
You
Yes,
talk
I'm
to
talking. So flash your stash. I will flash my stash. That's somebody else's phone.
I'm
It's
sorry.
not mine. Okay, it's not mine.
Sorry, we're being irritating.
Yes.
Blue jeans.
So the Valentine's Day podcaster swap. I
haven't
received
gotten
my
mine yet.
I have received my package, and wow. We'll start off with the bag. So
Which is great.
it's quilting fabric.
Oh,
and I like this
love
little
this
lip.
ledge that she did here.
Yeah, and she's a new bag maker. She's
Alright,
from
where's
the
the
Naughty
others?
Knitwits podcast, Michelle.
Great bag.
Yeah, I love it. It's got the
Nice
handle.
details, but not only a handle, but it actually clicks
comes
on and
off.
off.
I tend to use these as key fobs. And inside was coffee, which I
La
can't
chupacabra.
wait to try. Yeah,
the sucking goat
yeah,
is what that means.
Okay.
Yes.
Something
Happy
like that.
Rock Coffee Roasting House in Gladstone, Oregon. So that's the label.
That is cool.
And then she got me, so that's like a medium roast. And then she got it's called Little Bear Blend Light Roast from the same place. And I believe she said they're local to her. And this is the card. Isn't it cute? And then she got me this. And I have never seen this before, and I think this is flippin' amazing. It's to count your gauge.
Somebody was showing that recently on one of the podcasts. Was it Andre Sue Knits who was showing
I'm
that
not sure if you're
type of
going to
thing?
be able to see that.
I love it.
I'll put
Because
it.
it's transparent, the camera.
Yeah,
won't focus on it.
I'll put a picture of it in the thread. But basically, you put this on top, and you match it up to the stitches on here, and it gives you your gauge.
Hey, Jen.
You mimi. And then she sent me. So here, this is them. Naughty Knitwits. So that's their podcast, and they're really cute. I just watched an episode yesterday. Then she sent me. Keep going. It just keeps going. Some Lolo Love little samples. So this is like vanilla cake.
Oh, I love
Are those like lip glosses?
Hands.
They're
hand
hand
creams. Oh,
yeah,
I've never
they're
heard of that.
wonderful. I love those things.
Hooka Girl, HOOKAH,
Yes.
and Summer Breeze.
Let me smell the hookah girl.
The middle one, I think. She also sent me Moonstruck chocolate, which is 31% cocoa milk chocolate. Oh, somebody really wants to get a hold of you.
Yes, well, here.
And these really cool stitch markers.
Those are neat.
Triangles. Yeah.
Oh
and
my.
last but not least,
really yummy smells.
I'm not done yet. She sent me a skein of holiday yarn in the Loki colorway.
It's beautiful.
Because I love me some Loki.
And you like you some green.
My kids were like, "Who's Loki? Is he from Star Wars?" Both Sean and I put our heads down and just shook them. So thank you, Michelle. This bag is really well made. If you're a new bag maker, I did open it and turn it inside out and take a peek at it, and you did a really good job. And you said that you were, well, not upset, but you were like, "Oh, I sent her a bag," and then I found out she makes bags. I don't make this kind of bag very often. I mean, I'm going to start putting some in the shop, but I got a little owl.
It's a blingy owl.
Yep. So I really,
and
I
you
love
couldn't
it.
pick better colors.
Yeah, that's me. And I got Loki yarn. Ouch. Oh, and I'm not done.
So this was a swap that
Spicy Homemaker.
Spicy Homemaker organized to get to send some love from podcaster to podcaster, and I thought, what a wonderful idea. You know, to get podcasters to discover other podcasters. It's really a fun idea.
I felt kind of bad because I didn't participate. I'm really bad at mailing things,
Yeah, but
especially on a schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I knew they would love it, so.
And then Selma gave me some fabric this week.
Oh, Selma might be learning how to sew. Selma
Yes.
might be taking a course now to
So-
learn how to sew because she's fallen in love with so many fabrics.
She got me this, which is absolutely adorable. This is mine. No, it's not going in the shop. It's going to be mine.
Because I already went, "Oh, that's so cute," and she's like, "Mine."
And then she got me this one, and it's got butterflies on it. And then the last one, which is really, I really like it. It's kind of an Egyptian.
I would like a skirt quantity. I'm like, I could make a skirt out of this.
It's pretty.
It's
pretty.
just beautiful. There's something kind of turn of the century.
And these amounts are probably, I might squeak in a sock size bag, but definitely a mini or two wee bags. Oh, so the rest of my stash.
Technical
we
difficulties.
had technical difficulties, just so you
We
know.
just babbled on for a good 15-20 minutes, not realizing that the camera had stopped recording.
So I have to show everything else but the fabric, right?
Yep. Mandy's
Okay.
package.
Mandy's package. Again. Well, again for us.
I got one too.
So, chocolate. I'm going to try. No, that's not from Mandy.
I was going to say that Mandy
Sorry.
didn't send me one of those.
Sorry, that was another one. So M&M's, because she was in Las Vegas and went to the M&M factory.
I got multicolored.
We're
Now
going to
I
try
want
and get
M&Ms.
through this. Trader Joe mint tins, empty, because she keeps sending me empty ones. I love them for stitch markers.
I got cross-stitch bobbins.
Yep. Minis.
Minis.
And yes, we're whipping through this because, you know.
We've already done this.
She got
So
me
much
some
tea.
ribbons.
Sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
forestalled. Tea, and it smells so good.
Yeah, all kinds of teas, and then there's all kinds of chocolate in here. So, I will
super
peanut butter.
duper package.
I will post a picture of it in the, I'll post a picture of mine in the thread so that you can actually see each item because we did kind of whip through them.
And Mandy made us these adorable little cards.
Yeah.
This one was for Christmas and New Year, and this one was for Valentine's Day. I love the look at the little raccoons. And the
I think
little-
it's great to receive a package like
They're
this in the
badgers.
middle of the winter.
I think, yeah, that's it.
Somebody's spoiled.
Your turn. Again.
Did you not have
No.
anything at all?
No,
But that's at the end.
Mm-hmm.
where'd I put them?
I
I have Selma minis.
Oh yes.
I have Selma minis.
From
I
my
do
napkin
too.
socks.
I've already added one to my blanket, so this one's for you, Jen.
I already do too, but they're somewhere in a bag.
They're the same ones.
So it feels so weird to be doing this again.
You're like, you need to squeeze
I know,
over.
but
You're completely
So
out.
I showed you when I showed you my Mary sweater. It was in this bag that Sue had made for me out of fabric, Marimekko fabric that I'd gotten in Finland a couple of decades ago, and so now it's got a big sister bag
to move into when it gets too big.
Yeah, so the sweater is going to be moving into here when it's getting a little bigger.
Yeah, this is more of a shawl, small sweater bag.
Yeah, or a vest bag.
Or a vest.
I think my blue vest in the fall was in there. So that is an awesome addition to my bag collection. I love it.
And it's in fabric that you love.
It is, absolutely. I was realizing I actually have quite a few project bags that have sentimental value to them. And then I was saying, when we had until we had
That's
technical
why I was
difficulties.
over here.
Oh,
Because she's playing with stuff I can't touch.
yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to try and bring into my house less yarn than I'm putting out. So there was that whole thing about 50 points for Gryffindor that Katie of Inside Number 23 initiated. And I love the idea, but I'm not going to be counting points for each item. I thought I'm going to do it more in terms of how much I've knit.
But it gives you, like, an idea of how to do it.
Exactly.
So it works
And
for
my
you.
idea is really, I just want to bring in less yarn so that, you know, I don't keep accumulating more and more and more and I never get to the end of it. And I've already used this to make a blue vest and my Coda sweater in cream and navy blue, and I bought some purple to make the Highland Peak shawl by Mina. So it'll be a white, blue, and purple shawl. I got the pattern already and everything. And then this one is also in a shawl quantity, and as I was, when I bought it, I thought,
deja vu right now.
yeah, it's so weird. I'm saying this again. This is the Baramu Titus, and Wool Time, which is a local yarn store, had it on sale. It's normally around $29 or $30, and it was on sale for $20. So
What kind of wool does it say it is?
it is 70% British wool,
British wool. Okay, I couldn't
Wensleydale.
figure out what
which
the
is
first
actually a
word was.
combination of Wensleydale, Blueface, Leicester.
That is so cool that they actually tell you the breeds.
Yeah, and then 30% alpaca. And so I bought 3 skeins of this cream color, which
And
is
it looks
called
super squishy, but I can't
White
touch.
Rose. Yeah, Lynn can't touch the alpaca. And my idea is to
I'll
make
squeeze it
a
for
big
you.
cream colored shawl. Somebody made the
Hit me. Don't hit
oh
me.
no, they're going at it again. Somebody made the Summertide shawl in all cream, and I think it was This Handmaid's Life. She did it.
Who designed that?
Oh darn.
Don't do that to her until she's cast it on.
Don't remember, but
Okay. I'm sure
and
people, I've
anyway,
heard about it.
most people are doing it in 2 or 3 colors, and one person made it in all cream, and I just thought it was so beautiful, and I love the idea of the different stitches. So anyway, this is going to become an all cream shawl.
It's super pretty.
It's super pretty. And then the last thing I got was a pom-pom. 2 size pom-pom maker, one super large and one kind of medium.
She
When
has
I-
the little one.
When I finished the scroll work hat, you know, the cabled hat that I made, and I put this black pom-pom on it, my daughter was over the moon, and so I thought,
my
okay.
bulky pom-pom wouldn't fit on there. For my super bulky hat that I made.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You had to do it by hand?
Yeah.
Or whatever? Yeah. No, this is probably for worsted and things like that. But yeah, I think I'm going to teach my daughter how to make these pom-poms. Just going to have fun. So that's it for my stash.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I've decided that in February, I'm going to, at the end of February, I'm going to figure out how much yarn did I use, and in March, if I bring anything in, I'll bring in a third to a half of that. That's going to be my rule.
Yeah, Rob already knows what's going to happen to my stash when I die. He's got instructions.
Come here. I'll split it up.
You're older than me.
You're dying first, lady. I guess that means I'm going first because I'm the oldest here.
Age doesn't mean anything.
I'm just saying, don't count on me dying first.
And the last stash we got, I received yesterday afternoon.
Where's
So
your stash? Where's
it
your
was
stash?
waiting for me when I got home. And this is Ancient Art Yarns.
It's so smushy.
And they are a Canadian dyer. And Stephanie from Stitchcraft Marketing, who is based in Chicago, sent me an email last week, and asked if we'd like to try it. And I'm like,
Yes, please.
duh. Yes. So they sent 4 skeins.
So,
Ta-da! Sorry. I'm way behind.
So
it's very yellow.
technically, I probably should have
This
had
was
the orange
Sue's?
one, but it just didn't do it for me when I got it.
I like it because it's bulky.
And I decided to keep for myself the Inuit Art colorway, which is Superwash Extra Fine Merino and Silk, and it's called Inuit Art.
That's beautiful.
Sorry, that's probably better. And then I want to show you their logo because I absolutely love the logo. Look at that focus.
I've ordered from them before, but I've never gotten any of the yarn because I ordered
you know
it
what
for
I
Sarah.
like? They say here, this yarn is actually made
From
in Italy,
Italy.
but hand dyed in Canada.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yours too?
Yep.
And then, go ahead.
The one that I got is actually made in South Africa.
Woo.
It is a wool, mohair, nylon, acrylic, silk blend.
That's why you went for that
Mohair.
one.
Well, and I had written in the note that I'd be happy to try mohair because she mentioned mohair yarn.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, mohair.
So it's coming up a little bit more.
Brighter than it is.
It's a little brighter. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit of a deeper color in
That's
real
a little
life.
better. Ooh.
It's not quite a
It's
navy,
just
but it's
not really
it's-
happening. But anyway, there it's kind of closer.
Yeah.
It's this dark one on this side, so
And it's a tonal. It goes
interesting.
into
It's a
some
tonal.
slightly lighter blues, but nowhere near as bright
it
as
could
it's showing
be
up.
a shawl. But I'm actually thinking that with the nylon in it and the acrylic stuff, it could end up being an interesting pair of socks.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So anyway,
Did I give you the postcard?
Yes.
Okay.
I have the
and then
postcard.
you got the big.
I
squeeze.
got the super special one. This is one of her cat and dog. This is the Meow collection. Obviously, this is cats. She has collections. The Meow collection copies the colors of popular cat breeds, and the Woof collection copies the colors of popular dog breeds.
Mm-hmm.
I got the orange tabby, which I love.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a lot of orange in my stash. And it's not a super bright orange, which I also like. It's more of a, well, it's like a marmalade cat.
Yeah, I thought it would be brighter, but it doesn't.
I like it.
It's beautiful. It's just not for me.
It is
So
very
fortunately-
super squishy.
She liked the one that was intended for the giveaway, and I like this one, so I took it, and she took the giveaway one. And now you guys,
And there's an extra
somebody
skein.
Well,
is going to get this.
I had a hard time choosing, but I decided to go for the mohair because that really is beautiful.
This one is the Superwash Extra Fine Merino and Silk, and made in Italy. Sorry, it's the Art Deco colorway.
Beautiful,
It's
beautiful
gorgeous.
colors.
Show that?
And I was saying this would make a great hitchhiker for anybody who
She
is
says
so
something about
inclined.
the Art Deco.
It's got a lovely
Art
pink.
Deco is a brand new color that was inspired by the 2016 Color of the Year and the Roaring 20s.
Oh, the pink and the blue from the Pantone colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
From the
beautiful.
Roaring 20s.
It's really
Nice.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Lovely.
And she's like, the Inuit Art Skein is for a giveaway, although if you would like to switch the two, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, these are not your colors.
No.
Those are your colors.
And it's Carolyn Summerfield. And they are in, I think, is it Winnipeg? Yes, because I'm going to make all the noise.
Yep.
They are in Calgary, Alberta. So, is this the same yarn dyer that somebody got Sarah the Black Cat?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, that's why I was saying I ordered some, but I've never knit with it.
Oh, you ordered it for her.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, did she not know that?
No, she did.
Okay.
Yeah, she mentioned it on the podcast.
I missed that.
Sue
So,
hasn't been paying attention.
this is like amazing.
And we'll be saving this for you guys. It's
Well, no.
really lovely.
That's this week's giveaway.
Oh,
Because we have shipping money.
Yes.
We can ship.
Because we got some very lovely donations from some of you, and
Yes.
it was very generous. Thank you very
We
much.
thank you a lot.
So
So pay it forward. Now you get a prize. Well, somebody gets a prize.
somebody gets a
So
prize.
I'll open a thread in the Ravelry group for the giveaway. The giveaway will be drawn next Saturday when we record, and I will close the thread either the Friday night or the Saturday morning, because whenever. And it's one post per person. You must be a member of the group. That is the most important. Well, one of the most important parts. You have to be a member,
Yes.
and there's no chatter.
Nope.
So you guys can come up with an idea, because
I think go to her site and tell us which yarn wows you the most. I mean, she's got some amazing colorways.
I know.
Really, really
I
very
know.
rich. I went on there a couple of times looking at
So we'll post a link to the shop in the giveaway thread, and go to her shop and tell us which colorway just really
Do
speaks
you
to
want
you the
them to
most.
post a picture of the yarn?
I don't care.
Okay. So if you want
I
to post a
won't be
picture,
picky.
eye candy's fine.
Because the
We do
last
like
time I
our
was
eye
picky, there
candy.
was drama.
Yes. Yes.
I would like this to be a drama-free podcast.
Yep. So, the next thing on our show notes is the giveaway.
Giveaway!
So, the pattern by Johanna Designs, who is our friend Jessica. Johanna is our friend Jessica, aka Sarah Nova from the Sarah Nova Crafts podcast, designed a lilac leaves scarf and shawl.
Yep. You can either make it into a rectangular stole or a scarf. You can modify the pattern, and she provides instructions.
Yep.
So she generously donated a copy of the pattern for one of you guys.
And I drew the number previously, and we had, it was 40, there were 46 entries, so I did from 2 to 46, and guess which number won?
Well, I know it's written in front
46!
of me.
The last person who entered won. So this is just Dee, and who is Dee, and she's from Burlington, Ontario.
Woohoo!
So we will contact Jessica and have her send you the pattern. Thank you very much, Jessica. Next one's for you. Ask the Tangled Skeins. You can start off with answering our questions.
We have 2 questions.
Mm-hmm. But they're on the same idea.
Yeah. And actually, there was also another question. One person had asked, I think it was in the previous show's thread or something, about how we choose patterns, sweater patterns. How do we go about choosing sweater patterns? And the question here from Vicky B is, what is your best loved yarn for knitting a sweater? So I choose patterns because I'm a bit of an addict.
Hi, my name is Selma. I'm an addict.
I pretty religiously go to the pattern tab in Ravelry and look at the patterns every single day that are coming in, and I favorite patterns that are incoming that way. And actually I've sort of stopped doing that a little bit because I just go to my highlights now, because once you've done it enough, Ravelry chooses highlights and then kind of, chooses like
On the style,
on
according to the
the
style.
things that you tend to
I'm
like.
shaking my head because we work together. Yeah. There's a lot of enabling going on.
Yes, there has
Between
been a
the
lot
two
of
of us.
enabling. Beads, yarn, patterns, whatever.
Cross stitch.
And so I tend to do that on a daily basis. I'm also part of the sweater group on Ravelry. There's a group called Sweater Knitters, and I tend to go religiously there to look at what people have been making, and people are often test knitting and then posting in there, and then I'll favorite them that way. And I tend to tag to see, is it worsted, is it a sweater, is it a cardigan, and if I have any yarns I think might be good for it, then I tag it that way too. So that I tend to do that. If you want to go and see all my favorites, go for it, have fun.
You'll be there a while.
My favorite yarns for even I spend a lot of time there sometimes and go through, and what did I mark as brown, like the brown yarn, I marked a whole bunch of things as brown and then went in to see which ones of those
Yeah, it's very
did I
useful
really want to
put a little, when you're favoriting something, a box comes up and you can add a note.
Yeah. So that's how I basically find all the patterns, and then choosing is really about looking at what people have made, how it fits different body shapes. I rarely make something that other people haven't made because it makes me nervous to do that. I want to see how it fits non-traditional bodies and so forth. Yeah. Now, in terms of yarn choices, I counted the other day and I've knit 50 garments. Some of them for kids. In there are 4 skirts.
How many sweaters for you?
I don't know. Yeah. Let's say 30. 29? 29? Is that a good number?
It is.
Anyway.
Sure, we'll go with that.
So some of them are summer sweaters, but I won't talk about summer yarns at all. I'd have to say that by far the 2 best yarns that I've used were this one, this hemp wool, in terms of durability, and that's really important to me. It's I don't really care how squishy and how luxurious something feels if it's going to pill and look terrible 6 months from now.
Because you have a sweater or 2 that you were just mentioning the other day that you're going to frog.
Yeah. Well, one of them was knit out of cotton, and it's not the yarn, it's the shape of the sweater is just terrible.
Yeah.
And then I made the February lady sweater out of Malabrigo worsted, and it just pilled horribly. Like, that is not a yarn to make a sweater out of. if that matters to you. Like, if you don't care about pilling and so forth, that's fine. It really matters to me. I want to be able to wear a sweater.
I want longevity.
6 years down the road, and I still feel like I can wear it.
Like you were saying, some of the stuff your mom knit, like that Chanel suit you showed, that was knit in the 60s. It looks
Perfect.
beautiful.
And I have a cardigan that there's a picture of my mother wearing with me as a baby. She's holding me and she's wearing the cardigan, and I wear it sometimes, and it's in incredible shape, and that was also knit a long time ago. And it looks fantastic, and that's kind of what I
About
want.
29 years, huh?
Oh, just 29. Forever 29.
That is the magical number.
Did you hear those nasty minions? Nasty minions! They're laughing at me. Anyway, so the hemp wool is one. The other one I've knit a couple of sweaters with is Cascade 220, and not the superwash, just the regular Cascade 220. I've knit something with the superwash.
Is
love
my
it.
Marco Polo superwash?
Yes,
Okay.
it's the superwash sport.
I'll be curious to see how it
Grows?
how it grows, how it lasts. But the Cascade 220, the traditional, honestly,
Workhorse?
if you want to call it that,
She already said that was a bad word.
She doesn't like that word.
it's a fantastic yarn. It really is a fantastic yarn. They've got an extensive selection of colors.
And it's not, like, super pricey.
No, it's a
It's
reasonable
reasonable.
price. Now, and I've knit with some other ones that I've liked too, but I would say that those are my top two for sure. I really want to try Madeline Tosh DK and Madeline Tosh Vintage or Vintage
My
for a
Mad
sweater.
Tosh from my Mara was DK, right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's held up beautifully.
there's no pilling. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Would you stop?
Hey, watch it.
silly, these ladies. So
The family show.
honestly, those are my recommendations. I will never ever knit a sweater out of Malabrigo worsted again. I would use it for mitts or something like that.
You
or-
have used it for mitts, right?
Yeah, and it was fine for that. I can't think of any other yarns that I've absolutely disliked.
She's just looking up at the shelf innocently.
Waiting for the minions to make noise.
No, I was looking for something to poke her with. The minions agree.
Anyway, there's the answer. Then the last question was, I've lost the there it
Right
is.
here?
How do people do people hang or fold their hand knits?
And that was by
And that was from
Panani.
Pinani
55.
or Pinan 55. Never hang.
No.
Yeah, that was her. She's like, nope, don't do
Hanging
it.
bad.
Hanging very, very bad.
Because basically,
You're stretching.
all the water's going this way.
Well,
well,
it's not
and
just
then
the-
you get these
even if
things
it's
that
dry.
poke out.
Yeah, because it blocks to the size of the
Well, that's
hanger
it.
as opposed to the size of your actual shoulder. It's
yeah.
don't hang your knit.
Always fold. If
The
it's
exception
something
is
like
mittens.
if it's something like linen, 100% linen, you may be able to get away with it. But anything else,
Don't do it.
don't do it.
It's not worth it. Hanging equals heartache.
Because you'll end up with the dress.
Yeah, or just something weird. It's just going to be weird. So anyway, that's I would never hang, and
Yep.
not when you wash it either. When you wash it, you lay it
No.
flat. And
There's a reason that store-bought sweaters say wash and lay flat to dry.
yeah.
And any of the
They
ones that
mean
my
it.
husband does hang that says to hang, he hangs them on wide
Yeah, those big
hangers.
padded ones.
Yeah, so that they don't get like these pokey things happening
Yeah,
out of them.
because nothing
So.
is worse than going to work and you've got these two things sticking out.
It
of
looks
your
like you have a
shoulder.
hanger in your sweater.
Pretty much.
But
Yeah. So that's it. Thanks
I
for
don't
the
knit
questions.
sweaters, so I can't really tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I've knit all my sweaters so far out of acrylic, so
I love talking
Was
about
that
sweaters.
made out of acrylic?
Yep.
Okay.
it was Patton's Canadiana.
Cool.
I love talking about sweaters, and I often watch podcasters who knit sweaters a lot.
Mm-hmm. She's a sweater whisperer, if you didn't know.
Whatever.
Sweater lady.
Sweater lady.
So the next up is On the Boob Tube. So these are podcasts or audio podcasts that we watch.
This
and
is all you.
This is all us.
Yeah, I think
I
we're
have
a little
enough
obsessive
podcasts
about-
in my show.
I have a new one, and I have two that I've previously watched that I started trying to catch up on. And the new one is called Freakish Lemon Podcast. with Adrian, aka Freakish Lemon.
That's a kind of awesome name, and I may have to check that one out.
Yeah, well you'll like her background, because where she was sitting in the podcast that I watched yesterday, Star Wars everywhere.
Woohoo!
And I was like, yep. And I actually paused and showed my husband. He's like, oh, there's BB-8. And she's got like this chest that has like a BB-8 on it. It's actually really cool.
Andrea, take note.
Yes. So she is Freakish Lemon podcast with Adrian. Two others that I've watched on and off, and I'm trying to pick back up, and because I really love them, is A Knitter's Life with Christina, who is Christina Wall. And I just...
Speedy Gonzalez here.
Yeah.
Because you guys can actually see what she's doing. Look at this.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So with Christina Wall, so check her out. I love her. She's very like down to earth, and she doesn't rush, and she's a designer as well, so check out her designs.
Ooh.
And Round the Twist with Karen, who is Al Cariel, and she is one of the people who host SSK with the Knit Girls. And she has the most adorable twins, a boy and a girl. They're so cute.
More power to you, woman.
Yeah, she's been around for 4 to 5 years. She took a year off after she had the babies, because twins. So check her out, and I think you'll like it. She's very talented.
And I have, along with a lot of other people, discovered Inside Number 23.
I was like, dude, you gotta watch that. Dude, you gotta watch it. KT.
So I just went and watched.
Oh,
I love you too.
Now,
I think she
stop
had
it.
some sugar. So I've been watching Inside Number 23. I have to say, as I mentioned earlier, I may be taking a sewing class this week because
she inspired you.
she really has inspired me. Of course, I'm not starting with clothes. I'm learning to make a lined bag. But I love fabric. I always have, and I've avoided fabric stores because there was really no reason for me to go in.
It's just a whole
I bought her those fat quarters because I mean there were probably 300
which
fat
I
quarters
forgot
that I
to
wanted.
show the last one because we re-recorded and I didn't.
No, but I think you did.
show it.
Not this one?
You
Yeah,
did.
I thought
You
I
did,
finished
yeah.
with the orange one.
No, but you know what? When I saw this gray one, I thought, oh my goodness, this would make like a beautiful skirt. Hey, oh, it's upside down. Anyway, we digress.
Again.
One more time. So I've really enjoyed watching Katie.
Frequently and enthusiastically.
The other person that I've been watching a little bit lately is that Canadian girl. Her podcast is called Along the Lanes, and her name's Veronique. She's actually from Ottawa, but she lives in Cambridge, England.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I think I've watched that one before.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I've also learned about Milkshed with Stephanie because she's my swap partner in the Valentine swap that Spicy
I've
Homemaker
mentioned
made.
her before. On the
Yeah,
podcast.
so that was really fun to discover her. And then Regia's Arnie and Carlos actually have, I wouldn't call it a podcast, but they have videos on YouTube. They do mostly tutorials. But
They're
that
a
was
lot of fun.
entertaining. Yeah, it was entertaining to watch. So if you're interested in finding out what they're doing, they do a lot of colorwork stuff, ornaments, different types of techniques they show how to do. And
I love the accent.
mm-hmm. Yeah, they're Norwegian, so they have Norwegian accents for those of you.
I love Katie's accent. Just love it. And I
Yeah.
love all the little singing things she does. Like, it's just breaks out in song, kind of like us.
Like
Number
Selma.
23. I know, yeah. Probably better than us, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, so those are some of the new ones that I've, or not necessarily new podcasts, but
New to
ones that
you.
I've discovered. Yeah, new to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like Inside Number 23. You have to watch it.
Yeah, and I really enjoy
And now I just watched her most recent one. I'm like, I have to wait a whole week.
Right, save your pennies.
Save
I'm
your
going to ignore
pennies.
this person over here.
Kate from Nikozuki Knits on Etsy has given us a coupon code for 10% off until the end of February, which is February 29th this year. All spelled out two Tangled 10 TWO TANGLED 10.
Your turn.
Morgan of One Hook Double Stitch on Etsy has a coupon. It's a new coupon code for 10% off until March 31st, and the coupon code is Winter 2016, all capital
And I
letters.
think it coincides with her doing it for camp.
Team Ermine. Woo! That's right. In winter camp, we have a coupon code for Sue's shop, the Tangled Skeins CA. Sorry, because you didn't actually put that down there.
You're supposed to know it.
What would you have done if she had read that one?
Yeah, what would you have done, Sue?
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
So for 15% off at every Sue's shop until March 31st, which is the end of winter camp, Ermine 15. So ERMINE 15.
And
Darlene.
of Bags by Awesome Granny on Etsy has an ongoing coupon for 10%, and it is the number 2 TS and the number 10. So 2TS10.
Yep, and our last one is Lisa of Six Munchkin Stitching on Etsy. Her code is for 10% off is 2tangled10. TWOTANGLED 10, and that is ongoing.
Awesome.
And I think we've covered all our bases.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a pleasure. Giggles and all.
Technical difficulties aside.
Yes.
You know, when you're sitting there babbling on and then Lynn goes, "We're not recording." But
The little thingy was green. It wasn't
I
red.
was like, but I didn't do anything.
Wasn't me. I'm
So-
way over here.
So we'll go out back into the puddles and rain.
Yeah.
We had
my pants are still wet.
We had a gigantic snowstorm
I had to
earlier.
give Lynn socks. She's like, my socks are soaked. But that means
The plow passed just as I was driving up to park, and they put this huge snowbank and a whole bunch of water onto Sue's walkway. So I went over the snowbank and into 6 inches of water.
And as the plow passed, my husband put his head down and shook it because he just finished clearing the walk so the ladies would not have to deal with this.
Yep.
He's so nice.
So I came in with super wet feet.
So he had some choice words for the plowman.
Mm-hmm.
Sue gave me some socks. Mine are sitting on the heat register over there.
They're socks that you gave me that I'm lending to you.
When did I
Recognize
give you these?
You bought a pack and you gave me those and the ones with the bright green toes. Long time ago.
So, yeah. So
All
back
right.
into our Saturdays. Have a good week,
Yes,
everybody.
I have to go home because Rob is sitting there reading a book right now.
Hi, Rob!
The boyfriend is visiting from Chicago. Or
And
the
it's my son.
fiancé,
It's
I
my
should say.
son's 17th birthday.
Happy
today,
birthday,
so Happy
Zach.
birthday, Zach! Not that he watches the podcast, but you know.
Take care, everybody.
All
Have a
right.
good week.
Bye.
Bye.